Okay, Assalamu alaikum students. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you are staying at home. I hope you are keeping yourself safe from this COVID-19, and I hope you are not getting bored. And I was checking that day your papers, and let me tell you one thing: your responses, they were quite satisfactory. So I was happy. So let's begin our today's lecture. Today we'll be doing what we were doing before midterm. Who will be telling me? First, tell me what we did before with midterm.
Four C's, ma'am.
Four C's, beta. Only four C's.
Sorry, ma'am. If
Five
the
C's. We have done five
yes,
C's. Four were included in your
midterm.
midterm, and rest of the three they would be included in your final term. So today we'll be starting our 6C, that is known as concreteness. But before telling you what concreteness is and how you can bring concreteness in your message, you should know that in this lecture what we'll be covering, what are the contents of this lecture. First thing is concreteness. Concreteness contents in this lecture we'll be discussing what concreteness is, what are the principles of concreteness, advantages of concreteness, and we'll be doing activity, scenario based activity, so that you'll understand how you can bring concreteness. Now, who will tell me what does actual or what is literal meaning, what is literal meaning of concreteness? Have you ever heard word concreteness before or not? And what do you think, what would be the actual meaning of word concreteness or concrete?
Is something which exists.
Something which exists. Okay. What else?
Um,
Other somebody other than Abdul Ahad, Abdul Kareem, Taimur, someone.
मैम
Rough idea.
मैम कुछ मतलब सॉलिड वगैरह ऐसे मतलब
Concrete. Okay,
कोई
you are taking it in a different way. Okay, let me. Anybody else other than these students? Okay, concreteness, beta, basically concreteness is an aspect of communication that means being specific. Whatever information you are giving to your audience, it should be specific rather general. A specific difference between specific and general, I'll be giving you example right now. Example is, if I'll tell you that I have sent money or I have transferred money in your account. Now this is a general statement. I have sent money in your account. It's a general statement, but when I'll be keeping in mind concreteness in my mind, what I'll do, I'll say I have sent, I'll be giving you specific amount, specification would be there. So I'll be telling you that, okay, I have sent or I have transferred 5,000 rupees in your account. So first one was general and the second one was specific. So basically concreteness is an aspect of communication that means being specific, being definite or vivid rather than vague and general. That your message should be vivid, it should be bright, eye-catching, appealing, it should be specific. Whatever information you are giving, it should be specific rather general, right? And then a concrete communication, basically it uses specific facts and figures. When we talk about figures, I have given you a number that I have transferred 5,000 rupees in your account. Or specific facts. Facts means truth behind the information, what is true and what is false. So when you are giving facts that these are the reason I think that this statement is correct or not, that's why we need, as business students, you should learn how to bring concreteness in your message. For instance, if you'll say that Pakistan in the last year or in the year 2012, Pakistan was able to get good progress in the economy, or Pakistan economy was progressing well in year 2020. For instance, in 2020 Pakistan has made economic progress. When you are talking about economic progress and you are talking about year 2020, so that's a general, remark from your side. When you'll be bringing concreteness into it, you'll be telling actual amount ki kitni progress, how much, what was the percentage. You need to give percentage there. For instance, in Pakistan in 2012, Pakistan GNP increases by 6.6%. Now, in the first one, you are just saying that Pakistan made economic progress, but in the second one, you are specifying how much Pakistan has made economic progress by giving the figures 6.6. So, concrete messages are basically they are more specific rather general. You have to give specific facts. You have to give specific what you can say figures. If you, most of the students in my yesterday's class, mostly students, they were mixing up concreteness and what else we did, conciseness. They were saying, ma'am, conciseness means specific. No, conciseness means your message should be brief. Concreteness means specific. If you're talking about one thing specifically, you will be talking about that thing. You will be mentioning all the figures and facts related to that thing clearly, so that nothing would be vague. Vague, the actual meaning of word vague is unclear. For instance, if a witness, you are in the court and a witness said that, if a witness says that he gave his wife a bit of a slap, a bit of a slap means it's a general term, but the lawyer, the cross examiner lawyer, he might ask that how hard he hit her, कि कितनी जोर से मारा. So no specification is giving. So when you are giving specifications, that means your message is concrete. So clear so far what is concreteness?
मैम
Yes, ma'am.
जी बेटा.
कंक्रीटनेस ये है, तो फिर क्लैरिटी भी तो यही होती है कि आपने मैसेज आपका क्लियर होना चाहिए और वैग नहीं होना चाहिए और ये सब, तो फिर
हाँ,
फर्क
मेरा
कैसे?
बच्चा Farak, I told you on the very first day that all these C's are interlinked. And if you remember, when we were doing conciseness, they said if you are bringing conciseness in your message, you cannot forget all the other 6 C's. Same goes for concreteness. They all are interlinked. Complete message means your information should be complete. It's not necessary that all the, if your message is complete, then goes without saying you have to give complete. If we'll talk about this message, in 2020, Pakistan has made economic progress. Just tell me one thing. Do you think that this message is incomplete? Hiba, I'm asking you, mera bacha.
No, ma'am.
It's not incomplete. Here we are talking about specification. If you'll read the message, nothing is incomplete. You can easily understand, okay, they are talking about economic progress of Pakistan. Yes, you can make it more impactful. How? By adding number, how much progress. So that's why they are giving percentage 6.6. And if you'll talk about that one C is interlinked with the other C, I told you on the very first day that all these C's are interlinked. When you're focusing on one C, meanwhile you're focusing on all the other 6 C's as well. So completeness and concreteness and conciseness and consideration, they are interlinked, and they're most of them, mostly their principles are similar, very much similar. Okay, are you satisfied?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now concreteness, basically you need to believe in you what you want to convey to the audience. Basically concreteness is you need to believe in you that what basically you want to convey to your audience. And concreteness, you can say, is a quality which needs to come especially during marketing and advertising. Right? As your business students, you have to be specific. You need to give clear information. You need to give complete instructions. You need to give concrete information so that your audience, they will be more attracted towards your product or whatsoever. Right? So now I hope that I have given you a general idea what concreteness is. Now who will read this slide? Who will read this slide?
Concrete communication implies being particular and clear rather than fuzzy and general. It implies presenting your message from a position of reliability and authority.
Okay. Concrete communication implies being particular. When you are being specific, you are being particular. Clear rather than fuzzy and general. You have to say whatever message you are conveying, it should be specific. It shouldn't be general. If it's general, then you'll be in trouble. Then people would be asking questions and you won't be having answers to those questions. So it's better that there would be no confusion if you'll send specific, information. For instance, I told you, I gave you an example in the beginning that I have transferred money in your account, right? Now you must be thinking maybe she said she'll be transferring money in my account. She said that she'll be sending this much amount, but now she's saying that I have transferred money in your account. Maybe she has sent more money or maybe less than the required one. So if I will tell you that, okay, I am sending or I have transferred 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees in your account, goes without saying that the reader or the listener, he won't be having any ambiguity, any query in his mind or in her mind. So when you are giving specifications that this is the thing I want to convey to you, or that much progress Pakistan has made, then there would be nothing would be vague there. Things would be clear. Okay? And when you're sending concrete message, then that means your message is reliable. And the person, if a person is giving you proper facts and figures, all the specifications that are needed, then you can totally rely on that person, that whatever message he'll send, he'll be sending me a correct one. Next is concreteness. Concreteness means being specific, vivid, definite, rather than being indefinite or vague. Main purpose of concreteness is being specific. Whatever information you are giving, you have to, whether if you're talking about digits, facts, or figures are there, you need to mention them, rather just generally saying that I am sending you huge amount. Now word huge, it's a vague statement. Huge amount, how much amount? It's a general statement. So you need to mention that I am sending that much amount, rather saying huge amount or less amount or a lot of money. These are all general terms. You have to be specific whatever message you are giving. And if you won't be definite, your message would be indefinite, it would be unclear. And when the message is unclear, your audience, they won't give you answer as per your requirement. You won't be getting desired answer, your desired answer. Okay, who will read the next point? Abdul Kareem, why don't you read the next point? Abdul Ahad, Heba, somebody please read the next point.
Often it means denotative, direct, clear, dictionary-based, rather than the connotative words, ideas or notions suggested or associated to words.
Yes, you have to be very clear. Whatever, it should be direct, clear. जो भी message आप, whatever message you want to convey, it should be direct, clear, and dictionary based rather than connotative, that ideas and notions you are just suggesting or you are associating one word with another word. No, you have to be very clear. You have to be very specific that this is the information I want to convey to that particular person. Okay, now principles of concreteness. As I told you many times that every single C is having its own principles. So let's see what concreteness is basically telling us. Yes, principles, yes. What is first principle? Who will be reading?
मैं पढ़ूंगा?
Yeah, sure, please.
Following are the rules for concrete message. Use specific facts and figures. Put actions in your verbs. Choose vivid image building words.
Okay. Okay. Just keep on reading, Abdul Kareem.
Okay. Concrete message has the following features. It is supported with specific facts and figures. It makes use of words that are clear and that build the reputation. Concrete message are not misinterpreted.
Okay. Firstly, they said that following are the rules of concrete messages. You need to use specific. You need to specify. If we're talking about progress, Pakistan, economic progress of Pakistan, then you need to specify that you are talking about how much progress Pakistan has made, economic progress Pakistan has made. Sorry, Pakistan has made. And secondly, you have to mention the year as well. You have to be very specific. And if you'll see here, then they said put actions in your verbs and choose vivid image building words. Now we'll be discussing in depth what are image building words and what are vivid. Vivid, basically particular meaning of word vivid is bright, eye catching, appealing. As Hiba was saying in the beginning that ma'am, concreteness is more like for me is completeness. But Hiba, if you'll see, concrete messages has the following. Yes, it's also interlinked with the clarity. If you'll see this sentence, that it is it makes use of words that are clear and that build the repetition, right? So basically, concreteness, it is interlinked with all all the other C's. It's interlinked with clarity, and it's interlinked with completeness as well. When you are giving complete message, that means you are specifying the things, and when you are giving clear instructions, that means you are bringing concreteness as well as clarity. So they are saying that you need to focus on specific facts and figures. Then when you are giving specific facts and figures, goes without saying, you are building a proper repetition. As you all are business students, when you are giving them proper amount, that this is the amount you invested in our company, and now we are giving you twice more profit, and you have invested this much amount and now you're getting this much profit from our company. So you are specifying proper figure and facts are when you are giving proper figure and facts, goes without saying, here your clients, they'll be having more, they'll understand that you all are credible enough. They can totally rely on you. Then concrete messages are not misinterpreted, goes without saying. When I told you specifically that I am sending you 10,000 rupees, so nothing would be miscommunicated. You will be understanding that, oh, okay, this is the amount she is sending me, that's it. So miscommunication there would be zero chance or very less chance. Okay ji, who will read this?
Use specific facts and figures to support your statement. Use specific facts and figures. Like instead of saying she is a brain, a more complete statement can be given, like her GPA in 2008 was 3.9 on 4-point scales.
Yes. Wait a sec. Wait, Abdullah, just keep your mic on so that you can read furthermore. They are saying, instead of, if I'll say she's intelligent, right? Now she's intelligent. I think that she's intelligent. It's a very general or a vague statement. Or you could say she's a brain is a very vague statement. Maybe I am saying this thing that I know that she's intelligent. She got that much GPA, but the listener or the reader, he shouldn't understand that why this person is saying that she's a brain. So you need to specify when you are saying something, especially in business communication. When you're communicating in business scenario, you have to be sure about the things. You have to be specific about the things. It will really help you all in your future, in your professional life. So when you will say that her GPA in 2008 was 3.9 on 4-point scales, goes without saying, the reader or the listener, he would understand that, oh, this girl is intelligent, because you have given all the specifications. Yes, Ahad, what is the next example?
Instead of saying Pakistan Steel produced a huge amount of steel this year, we must say Pakistan Steel produced 10,000 tons of steel this year.
Yes, this statement is basically related to the statement I have mentioned in the beginning, that in 2012 Pakistan has made economic progress. We said that in 2012 Pakistan has made economic progress by 6.6 percentage. What was the percent? We are giving this proper percentage. Same goes for here. They said Pakistan steel produce huge amount. When we are saying huge amount is a vague statement. We are not specifically mentioning how much amount. So when we said 10,000 tons big, goes without saying we are specifying the proper amount Pakistan has, produced. So I hope that using facts, specific facts and figure, this point is pretty clear to you all. If you want to ask something, you should ask. Ji beta, it's clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, shall we move? Taimur, can you read the next slide? Taimur, am I audible? Somebody else can read the slides so that we can continue.
Put actions in your verbs. This means the sender should preferably use active voice rather than passive voice, except in negative statements. It also means that the stress should be laid on verb of a sentence rather than noun.
Okay, what are active voice or passive voice?
मैम एक्टिव वॉइस वो होता है जो डायरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट होती हैं और पैसिव वॉइस
Okay, I'm gonna read two sentences in front of you, and you'll be telling me which one is active voice and which one is passive voice, right? Does she read books? Are books read by her?
बुक्स रेड बाय हर पैसिव वॉइस में और
Okay. Second one is passive voice and the first one is active voice. They said, okay, you all have read passive voice and active voice. That means in your childhood and when you were all in school. So active voice, you have to use active voice when you are sending a positive message. But on the other hand, you need to see that if you are sending some negative statement, then you have to be bit indirect. So you should use passive voice. Then they said put actions. Then they said it also means that the stress should be laid on verb of the statement rather than the noun. Aapka whole stress should be on the verb of the statement rather than the noun. So I'm going to give you an example. That is, a professor will give consideration to the report. Now this here we are our whole emphasis is on noun. So when we'll change this statement, we'll say professor will consider the report. Professor will give consideration to the report is not so appropriate, so you should write professor will consider the report. So rather putting stress on your noun, you need to put stress on your verb. G, next point.
मैम ये पॉइंट समझ नहीं आया, एक्सप्लेन करते हैं.
Beta, they are saying you need to give stress on the active voice or passive voice ko hi. They are more elaborating that rather saying professor will give consideration to the report. That what is our noun in this sentence? Professor. Now we are saying that whatever this statement is basically saying professor will give consideration to the report. Okay, he'll consider the report, then will do something. Instead of giving importance to your noun, you should give importance to the verb of the sentence. For example, professor will consider the report. Professor will consider the report. Here, what is our verb? Consider. He is considering the report, so that's more applicable. If you'll see the last sentence in your slide, this example would help you. Students held the meeting in the common room. Rather saying students held the meeting in the common room, here we are putting stress on the students. Students, they are here. This is students. Word students is an example of noun. So you will say student met in the common room. Met is verb, so we are putting stress on the verb. Clear, Heba?
No, ma'am.
Sorry?
No, ma'am.
I'm going to elaborate in Urdu. Is it okay if I'll elaborate in Urdu?
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ, वो कहते हैं कि स्टूडेंट्स हेल्ड द मीटिंग इन द कॉमन रूम, कि जो कुछ भी किया वो स्टूडेंट्स ने किया, स्टूडेंट्स ने मीटिंग की है कॉमन रूम में. दैट इज वेरी डायरेक्ट. सो रादर बीइंग डायरेक्ट यू शुड से स्टूडेंट्स मेट इन कॉमन रूम. जब मेट का वर्ड आ गया है कि कौन स्टूडेंट्स मिले इन द कॉमन रूम, जब हम कह रहे हैं स्टूडेंट्स कॉमन रूम में मिले, तो हियर वी आर पुटिंग स्ट्रेस ऑन द वर्ब रादर पुटिंग स्ट्रेस ऑन द नाउन. क्या आपने बहुत ज्यादा डायरेक्ट बात नहीं करनी, यू हैव टू मोल्ड योर नाउन इन एंड यू नीड टू पुट फोकस ऑन योर वर्ब. बेसिकली आपने अपने एक्शंस पे फोकस करना है कि जो काम आप कर रहे हो उस पे ज्यादा स्ट्रेस डालना है बजाय कि उनके जो वो काम कर रहे हैं. ठीक है?
ओके मैम.
Am I audible?
यस मैम. ओके.
जैसे you and me are meeting, ठीक है? So instead of saying that मैम शलवा held the meeting in the common room, अब पूरा स्ट्रेस किस पे है? मुझ पे है. मेरे ऊपर स्ट्रेस नहीं डालना. Your stress should be on the work that would be done in the common room. जो एक्शन हमने करना है, जो काम हमने करना है कॉमन रूम में, हमारा फोकस उस पे होना चाहिए रादर कौन उस पे काम कर रहा है. ठीक है?
ओके.
जो लोग उस पे काम कर रहे हैं हमने उस पे फोकस नहीं करना, हमने जो काम हो रहा है उस पे फोकस करना.
Yes, ma'am. अब समझ आ गई.
Got it? Put action in your words
Yes,
means कि whatever action is going on there, you need to focus on that particular action. Basic action क्या था second statement में? Students met in the common room. Met verbs are the action words. Met मिले. So basic purpose was meeting. जब meeting वहाँ हो रही थी तो we are basically elaborating our action more rather who did the action. Is it clear now?
यस मैम.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ. तो अब ये हम कहते हैं प्रोफेसर will give consideration to the report. Here we are putting stress कि प्रोफेसर consideration देंगे रिपोर्ट को. So when you are changing this, you are saying professor will consider the report. We are focusing on the action that is considered. He will consider the report and then further will move on. Got it?
यस मैम.
Actions पे focus ज्यादा होगा rather on the person who is doing the action.
ओके मैम.
Okay. Okay. Now we are moving. Choose vivid image building words. What are image building words? Who will be telling me?
मैम जैसे रेपुटेशन अच्छी हो, मतलब
Okay.
कोई पढ़ के आपको जज ऐसे ना करे कि जैसे अगर आप एब्यूसिव लैंग्वेज या ऐसे कुछ हार्श वर्ड्स यूज कर रहे हो तो वो आपको
Oh, that is basically a consideration. Okay, and basically you don't need to put stress on consideration. Basically, image building word is if I'll send you specifications that yes, tomorrow I'll be taking your class. This would be the time. This would be the duration. After the given duration, we can discuss for 5 minutes whatever you people are having queries, or I'll be giving extra time to those who are or I'll be taking remedial classes of all those students who are still facing some problems. That is basically specification. Here clarity is there, completeness is there. So image building words are those words, after reading those words or those sentences, you will be building an image that this person, he's focusing on every single thing. For instance, instead of saying you have sent a long report, how much long report, it's not mentioned here. So you could say image, how you can build an image in a person's mind or in a person's view कि वो क्या सोचता है आपके बारे में. You should say your report is thrice bigger than I have expected. When you are saying thrice means 3 times longer than the one I have expected or I demanded. So you are being specific. When you are being specific, the person, he would be understanding your message. Okay, it's thrice longer than the report he demanded, so that means I need to cut these points, or I need to eliminate these points from the report so that I can make a report as per the requirement of my boss. So आपने ऐसी specification देनी है जिससे आपका image भी सही रहे, the person would understand your message, he will act as you have said. He won't miscommunicate whatever message you have delivered to that particular person. Clear? Students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, read the next point, Abdullah, Alina, somebody.
concrete message.
With image.
आप पढ़ लो.
Okay. Concrete messages often evoke sensory response to people. It appeals to one of their five senses. This does not mean that message should be made long and boring. It means it should build a clear and solid picture of the situation. Concrete messages can also be supported by comparisons and analogies to clarify the meaning. And formal letters, figurative language can also be used, but this should be used with caution.
Okay, what you have understood after reading this? Who will tell me? Little bit understanding. Okay, concrete. Okay, nobody. Okay, I'm gonna explain it. Concrete messages, beta, basically they are the messages which won't. They would allow you to, they would be appealing. They would be eye-catching. They won't be boring. Here we are talking about now. There is a link between concreteness and conciseness. When we talk about conciseness, they said concise messages are not boring. So concrete messages, they won't be boring because they would be, or they'll be explaining all the specification in a clear manner, so things would be pretty clear. Then they said figurative language. If we'll talk about English language, and when you people were in your school, you must have read about figurative language, similes, metaphor, alliteration. So figurative language or analogies are basically when we are comparing one thing to the other thing, and they are comparable in one manner or other manner. They're saying when you are using figurative language, you have to use them in a proper way, in a careful, more cautious. You have to be more cautious while using them. For instance, if you are saying select your words carefully, you should say, or if you say fit words are better than the fine words. When you are making comparisons, when you are using figurative language, if it's needed, if you are using, you should use them in a proper way without, there shouldn't be any ambiguity in that. Right? Clear? If you're
Ma'am,
using
eye-catching कैसे?
eye-catching, when I'm giving you specifications. Okay, I have told you all the specific information that is needed. Your message would be up to the mark. Short hoga, you'll just read it. You'll be interested in reading it. If it would be long, unnecessary information is given, vague information is given, then goes without saying you will be boring, and that message wouldn't be appealing for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hiba, just tell me one thing. Do you have friends?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Some of your friends, they would be having this habit. I used to call it essay messages. They used to write long messages. Do you have any friend who used to send you a long message?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then is there any friend of yours who will be sending you messages, short and precise messages and specific messages? I want 5 minutes, Hiba. I need your 5 minutes. Can you come on, Skype so that I can meet you? Do you have any friend, such friend who used to send short and specific messages?
Yes, ma'am.
अब मुझे बताओ किसका मैसेज पढ़ने में you are more interested, वो the one who is sending you the essay messages, or the one who is briefly telling you what he wants or what she wants from you?
मैम जो लंबे मैसेजेस होते हैं, लॉन्ग मैसेजेस.
You like long messages?
Yes, ma'am.
Then, Hiba, are you serious?
Yes, ma'am. वेले बहुत होते हैं ना मैम, आजकल फ्री बहुत होते हैं ना.
My question is, if that long messages is not up to up as per the requirement of your personal interest, if he's telling you or she's telling you her own stories all the time, he used to tell you or she used to tell you her own stories, then what's your response? You're still interested in reading those messages?
No, ma'am.
No. So when you are not interested in something, you have to bring that thing in your message, what they meant here. Sometimes in business communication, people, they don't read extra information. Your clients, they just need to get to the point. So concrete messages are eye-catching for, if we'll talk about as business point of view, if we'll consider business point of view, business people, they all are busy. When you'll start your own business, you won't be having that much time that you'll be sending long messages. So you will save your time by sending specific message. The client, he would find your message eye catching, appealing, because all the specifications are giving, and he can save his time rather wasting time. Now you got it, how it would be appealing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm so glad. Okay, we have to finish this today. Okay, Ji, who will read advantages of concreteness?
Following are advantages of concrete communication due to inclusive of facts and figures. Concrete information is more likely to be remembered and interpreted as sender wants it to be. Image building words make the perception of information easier. The concreteness of information eliminates boredom.
First point is, first advantage when you're giving specific facts and figures, goes without saying, the message would be understood as it is required to be. And then secondly, if you are sending image building words, as we said that you have sent me a long report, if you'll say your report is thrice longer than I have expected, so the information, the reader who will be reading the information, he can easily understand what that person who's sending the message, what he needs from me. Secondly, your message would be specific, so there wouldn't be chance for boredom. You won't get bored after reading the message. Now I'm gonna give you two activities. First activity, listen carefully. You have to add digits, numbers, right? Numbers are lacking there, facts are there, but figures are not there. You have to add figures in that. And in the second activity, some facts are missing. You have to add those facts in the message so that you can bring concreteness in your message. The first is, I'm going to show you bad example. This year we sold more AC than the last year. You have to add digits into it. Are you working on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Bring concreteness in this message. Done?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Hiba, answer me. All those who are done.
In 2020, we sold 100 more ACs than last year.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020, we sold 10 more ACs than last year.
Okay. Nice. Yes, Alina. You can write your answers in the text bar as well. Abdul Kareem. Okay. I got one response, that is, maybe we can say this year we sold 10 ACs than last year. Very nice. When you're using word 10, that means you're specifying.
Yes,
Hiba, your response is good. Abdullah, your response is good. Yes. What else?
Karo, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. Anka. Gulrez. I need answers from you all. It's pretty simple and easier. Hamad, Hamza. I'm waiting for your feedback, kids. Let's, okay, sorry. Last year we sold, let me just read. Okay, you're sending me your responses here. Last year we sold 100 ACs and this year we sold 300 ACs. Very good, Mohammed Waleed. Good one. Ayaz, in 2020 we sold 100 more ACs than last year. Now beta, when you are saying 100 more ACs, you have to tell that last year how many ACs you have sold. So 100 more ACs, again still specifications concreteness is missing. In 2020 we sold 15 AC more than 2019. More than is vague statement. We don't know how many ACs you sold in 2019, so you need to mention. Okay, your answers are satisfactory. Who will read this?
Last year we sold 1200 ACs, and this year we sold 1500 AC.
Yes, beta, you need to tell 100 more ACs from than last year. When we'll talk about 100 more ACs than last year, we don't know how many ACs. Sorry. We don't know how many ACs you have sold in the last year, so you need to mention last year number as well. Okay, now the next example, in 2020 we sold 100 ACs more than the last. Sorry, let me read it again. More AC than last 2019 75 AC. Doesn't make much sense. Grammatical errors are there. Okay, good one. Now the next one is who will read this, and what you have to do, I will tell you. First, start reading it. Hamza, why don't you read it? Hamza Zulfikar. Okay, anyone can read it.
People who have skin complexions or colored eyes are more at risk of developing skin cancer.
Hiba, excuse me, Hiba Hamza, he has started reading it. Hamza?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read it?
People who have skin complexion or colored eyes are more at risk of developing skin cancer. People can develop skin cancer from weather conditions or areas. People who live in warmer climates are more likely to get skin cancer. Skin cancer can only be developed through exposure to sunlight. Your family medical history can enable you to become susceptible to cancer.
Okay. Now what you have to do, they are talking about skin cancer, and they have missed a lot of facts there. So if you'll see first line, that people who have skin complexions, that means everybody is having different skin complexion. That means all are at risk of getting skin cancer. Then they said colored eyes. Now you have to, facts are lacking there. You will be identifying that what are those facts that are missing from this piece of writing, and then we'll be discussing it. I'm giving you 2 minutes. Done? It's very simple. It's very easy. If we'll Okay, I guess we should discuss it as class rather, waiting. Gee, who will tell me what facts are missing?
People who have dark complexions or brown eyes are more at risk of developing skin cancer.
Okay, your answer, you're saying that they need to specify skin complexion. So let's see what is the right one so that we can see how many facts and figures are missing. Right? The right one is, if we'll read just first sentence, we'll be reading. People who have fair skin or light colored eyes are more at risk of developing skin cancer. If we'll compare this one with the first one, facts are missing. They said in the first statement, they said, no, all the people who are having skin complexions, everybody is having skin complexion, everybody is having different skin complexion, so all are, and colored eyes, they didn't use colored eyes word, they said light fair skin complexion. Why fair skin complexion? Because fair people, they have less pigmentation in their skin, so they are more at risk of developing skin cancer. Now who will read the next line? Hamza.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read the second line?
Ma'am, second line.
Yeah, people can develop.
People can develop skin cancer from weather conditions or areas.
Okay,
People who
from
live-
weather conditions. But stay there. From weather conditions. Now things are vague. If you think what type of weather conditions, weather would be very cold, whether it would be very hot. Again, facts are missing. So what do you think? How can people develop skin cancer from certain weather conditions? What would be the weather conditions? Whether the weather would be very cold or very hot?
Cold.
Beta, weather would be very hot. Okay, let's warmer weathers, right? Yes, Anka, you said your answer is correct. It would be warm weather. So right one is, let me just, good option is people can develop skin cancer from certain weather conditions or areas. There are few areas where they can develop more, they are more at risk of developing skin cancers. And how they will develop skin cancer? Because they are living in a warmer climate. Who will be reading the correct example?
People who have fair skin or light colored eyes are more at risk of developing skin cancer. People can develop skin cancer from certain weather conditions or areas. For example, people who live in warmer climates are more likely to get skin cancer because the sun gives off higher level of radiations. Skin cancer can only be developed through long-term exposure of UV radiation. It may be possible that your family medical history can enable you to become susceptible to cancer.
Cancer. Now, who will tell me how this correct example is different from the incorrect one? What are the facts that are missing in the incorrect one? And we have just read the correct one, so we came to know that, okay, these are the things that are missing and they have not explained. Ahmed, can you tell me? Hamad is here. Hamad, I need your answer. Alina, Kenza, Anka, just give me your, feedback. Students, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Please answer me. I'm waiting for the answer. We have read the correct one. Just give me your answer, what are the facts that are missing? UV radiations. Okay. I'm going to open the correct one and we'll compare the correct one with the bad one. In the bad one, we said that all skin complexions are at risk of developing skin cancer. But here we are saying no. Those who are having very fair skin color and light colored eyes, because in their, skin complexion that their skin complexion, it cannot bear high radiation or UV radiations, because their skin is sensitive. Then they said, in the first one we said that people can develop skin cancers in all the areas, right? But here they are saying that certain weather conditions or areas, certain weather conditions where the weather would be very warmer, there they can, there people are more at risk of developing skin cancer, because the sun gives off higher level of radiation. When the climate is warmer, goes without saying, the sun, it would be giving higher level of radiation, and you would be at risk of developing skin cancer. And then in the first one, if you remember, they said that all the people who are exposed to the sunlight, they are at risk of developing skin cancer. That fact is totally wrong, that all the people, we all are going out, and all the people are going out and exposing our skins to the sun. So that doesn't mean that we all are having, we all are at risk of getting skin cancer. So again, this statement is vague, nothing is clear. Then they said that it's possible for the people whose medical history is related to the skin cancer, they are at risk of developing skin cancer. So a lot of facts are missing. So there could be two different things, whether the facts would be vague, whatever facts are given, they would be vague, they won't be having concreteness, or whether figures would be not given there. So while composing message, while bringing concreteness in your message, you need to keep this thing in your mind, that but if facts or figures are required, you need to give proper figures. And if you are writing about the facts, information is given, whatever information you are giving, that information should be clear, concrete, specific, definite, rather than vague. Anything you want to ask about concreteness so far?
No, ma'am.
Clear?
Yes.
Anything you want to ask about? If I'll give you a message and you need to bring concreteness, would you able to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll just revise contents. Now you know what is concreteness, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You have read about principles of concreteness. You know how many principles are there, and how you can apply those principles, and how you can compose a concrete message. Is it true?
Yes, ma'am.
And what sort of advantages a concrete message would give you in business communication, while communicating in a business scenario? Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
And lastly, we did activity. Anything that is still bugging you, you should ask me right away. Things are clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, chale everyone, so we are winding up here. So I'll see you in the next class, that would be on Friday. Till then, take care everyone.